all my little activities, you
Yeah.
know. And I'm sitting in there. I've got the English muffin or the biscuit and all. I'm fixing to feed it and go in there and comb her out. Phone rings, and it's a guy named Sam Bender. Been around. He's from New York. He's cranky as hell, and he had the same surgery I had about 2 years later, and it didn't work. And he had it again, and it didn't work more, and so he can't walk. And he was a truck driver in New York City for years,
Yeah.
and then went to driving truck. So he's got that attitude. He's just insulting, and so he first words out of his mouth, and I had a note. I made a note the other day as I searched for something to give meaning to my life. I said, call somebody that might like to hear from you. You know, that might. So I called him about a week ago, and he was in a rehab. He had fallen out of bed, and he had big bruises. And then he apparently went home or went to his assisted living, and then he called me, and he was back in the thing. He had pneumonia, and then he got sent home. And he's back to his assisted living, and he called this morning. First word out of his mouth was, "I'm suicidal," and said, "Isn't everybody?" And so we had a quite a kind. I thought of things that I'd read and all that I never think of, and it said them all. You know, he said, "I'm worthless," and I says, "Well," and then I said, "You got a cat?" He said, "So what?" I said, "Cat's got a soul." I said, "The only reason I get up is because I got two pets that depend on me." He said, "Well, that's not work." I says, "It is at our age." I said, "We're all part of the deal." I said, he said, "Well, that doesn't justify putting up with all this pain." I said, "It makes a lot of difference to them." And I said, there was a story in a business magazine about a man walking on the beach, and there was an adolescent, and there'd been a high tide, and so there were thousands of stranded starfish laying on the beach, and there was a kid in front of him picking them up as he walked and throwing them back in, and the man hurried up and caught him, and he says, "Are you out of your mind?" He said, "You can't possibly make a difference. There's thousands of these things." And a kid threw it into the ocean, said it made a difference to this one. It's 100% difference to, and so as we talked, and he said, "Well, what can I do?" And I said, "Well, you can be cheerful when it's hard to be cheerful, and you can be patient when it's hard to be patient, and you can keep going when you'd rather quit. You can be silent when you'd rather be yammering, and you can be agreeable when you'd rather be disagreeable, because you're taking care of the people that take care of you." And he says, I gotta go. I fired my caregiver yesterday, and I gotta call her up and apologize.
Oh.
And I didn't, it was all spontaneous, but you do make a difference for one person at a time if you're careful. If you answer the phone. Hardest thing to do sometimes, answer the phone.
That's for sure. Wow, what a morning you had.
Yeah. And then Bella wanted back out, so I take her out and you bring her in. She just wants some action. She's an action cat.
Well,
But I've
you're
combed her on. She looks good for about 10 minutes, and then I didn't pick up the scratch yesterday. I just didn't feel like
it's
going.
about frozen in place out there.
Huh?
It's frozen in place out there right
Yeah,
now.
well, that's it. It really makes it easy to pick up. You didn't
If you
have
have
to
a
walk
chisel.
in the mud. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't pick it up. It's too slippery out there. I'll get it.
That's easy to spot in the snow. You gotta look at the bright side. What do you like about picking up shit? Well,
It's easy to see.
in the snow, it shows right up.
Yeah, I'll get it. So your toast got cold. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it just takes me a while to. You can't imagine how awkward it is to pick this up with 2 fingers.
It's nice and gooey.
It is good. The heels are always the best anyway.
I'll get your laundry done today.
Do what?
I'll get your laundry today. Laundry.
Oh yeah.
And I got your list. I'm gonna get you some more.
Take the money, and are you coming back before you go?
Yes, sir.
Because I can write a check, and then I can give you the cash for all of that stuff.
However you want to do it. Or you can pay me when I get back.
I've got a couple of $100, I think.
All right. Well, do you want some more stuff for our sandwiches? I mean, just the meat. I think we've got enough cheese and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That was a great sandwich yesterday. Although Bella interceded.
Sure, she
doesn't. She doesn't beg. She stands there and drools.
Which is worse.
Please eat this and use that saliva for something else.
So your prescriptions will be ready this afternoon.
Yeah, they said when the automatic thing said it'd be ready this morning, but I don't think they ever are.
Yeah, especially
and I got
with the weather.
that bag out.
Okay. I'll come back through and grab the bag and the ice pack before I go. I thought this would tide you over at least.
I'm not eating the frozen meals because I've got sandwich stuff.
Yeah.
That's my hardcore winter fare, I guess.
How are we on cookies?
We get snowed in.
You still kicking the Oreos?
Yeah, and I did what you said last night. I was just hungry, so I put some butter on one of those
Excuse me.
little Hawaiian things, and then just to spice it up, I put some honey on it.
Yeah.
And then I got honey all over my head.
Yeah. Are they still good?
Yeah,
Okay.
I guess. Down the hatch. When Claire was over here the other day, Bella just would not leave her alone, and she said she's insisting that I pet her, and she's snoring.
Come here.
say you're only supposed to take 4 at 81. It doesn't take very long. And then when I get him too often,
Yeah.
there'll be a time when I can't do that.
Yeah, oh, I know. I'm here for it.
I can't clean myself up. I mean, I take her out, or let her out, and as soon as one of y'all shows up, she wants in. She don't want it. I'm just not good company.
Yeah.
Quit working, and that was about how old I was when I developed Wegener's, and it caused him to move real slowly. His skin was thick and his mental acuity was impaired.
Diminished.
He would talk like, and the only treatment they did until he died from 62 to 84 was check his thyroid levels periodically and change his prescription function perfectly.
Wow.
And the donut lady that was from Korea that had that donut shop on Bowen right in front of where Red Oven was.
Mm-hmm.
She had a thyroid surgery, had it out, and they make an incision down here and fold it up and take everything out. She was back at work in a week and on various pills for the thyroid function, and she later on married a single digit at night.
Yeah.